Jumping into the portal. As I said, this is just a web portal, so all you would do is go to get.caddcommunity.com. If you have a username and password, you can just fill that in right here on the login screen. If you had a group bulk purchase, or maybe if you're coming to us from a trial from Autodesk University, you would have the option to submit the enrollment key here, and that's where you would put in the key ID and password and create your own unique login. If you do use that enrollment key going forward, that username and password that you create is what you'll use to log in from the main screen. So once you get there, the home page should look very similar to this, actually exactly like this, except it would have your name instead of mine. I know a lot of times when you first sign up, they give you a crazy letter, number, and symbol combination for a password. So the first thing I do like to point out is that you can go to this Edit Profile option here on that toggle menu, and you can choose to change your password. So if you wanted something easier to remember, if you ever just want to update that, you can do that from that green toggle menu. So we have a few items on the home page, just trying to direct your attention to quick resources. We do have some news that often links with our blog that you can jump to here from the bottom left-hand corner. It is free to use our blog, but we want to give you that shortcut here at the CADD community. We are constantly adding new content on the portal. So when we have a few new things added in, a lot of times we'll post that in the community news, or you can actually see it in the banner here. So as I said, the contributors to this website are both Global eTraining and CAD Microsystems. We have a few shortcuts here to get to the courses. You can also jump to them from My Courses to get that main drop-down as opposed to those sort of shortcut launch pads. Or again, you can use that green toggle menu to go to My Courses. So the My Company University, you may not have showing on your screen. That is if your organization wants to load any custom content that only your team would have on that portal. So that is an option if you would like to do that. Once again, I'll be sharing my contact information towards the end here. But this general inquiries at the bottom of your page, community@caddmicrosystems.com, or the 412-2233 phone number does come directly to me. So the first thing we're going to look at is the CAD Microsystems library. As I said, that is sort of professional content, not necessarily meant for you to dive through all the picks and clicks necessary to learn a software, but really start using that more effectively. So there are 3 different categories. The courses are divided into recorded instructional videos or webinars. We do host several webinars throughout the weeks. So if you're never able to make it at a certain date and time, you can always view the recording there. Same with those sort of instructional videos. There may be about 5 to 20 minutes of quick information. And then we have mini courses. So these are exactly what they sound. They are very similar to the Global eTraining courses, where they're going to walk you through very in-depth how to use the software or complete a task, but focused on a specific topic. So these are about 60 to 90 minutes long. So you can go in here, for example, this Excelling with AutoCAD course. You can see it's broken down into sort of bite-sized chunks. So you can easily jump in, grab some information, and jump back out. So also in the CAD Microsystems library, we have the CAD downloads. So there are some white papers and FAQs in here. One of the places where we're really growing the most content is in these content pack folders. So some of them that might be interesting for you, we do have a Bluebeam content pack where we have some tool sets as well as stamps already set up for you that you can just download and plug in. In the Revit content pack, we have some family collections, ceiling types, components. So really just tools that our application specialists have created that they find handy in their day-to-day and think that you might as well. So the last category in this CAD Microsystems library are the applications. So these are basically add-ins that you can use in your software. So we do have some interoperability tools for Revit, like the model checker. We have the plugin, which is going to be sort of the interactive training that you can get for the Autodesk software. I'm going to show that to you a little later, and I'll remind you where to come back to it. But one of the areas where we just added 2 new tools, just premiered at Autodesk University, is in the add-ins for Revit. So we have the dashboard that'll basically let you have an HTML screen within your software. We also have the Filter Plus and the Warnings Plus applications. You can click in here to get the overview of these or download them, but basically they're just very beefed up versions of what already exists in the software. So again, we're constantly adding new resources within either of these categories, so we'll try and alert you on the homepage for that, but feel free to jump in. You'll see this number tick up and there are new things available for you. So looking at the global eTraining courses, if you're learning a software brand new, if you're really trying to dive in and learn how it works on a technical level, that's probably where you're going to be spending a lot of your time. We do have a BIM library, BIM Global Standards, which are sort of soft skills, the cultural aspects of BIM and what impact that has on your day-to-day. We do have a Bluebeam library, as well as Microsoft and leadership. The bulk, as you will see here, based on the enrollment numbers, is certainly in the Autodesk library. So when you jump in there, you have the ability to choose from any version that you like. So whatever version you're working in, you can ensure that you're getting the information that is most accurate to that. And even within those breakdowns of the version, there are a few different courses that can be applicable for you. So as you can see with AutoCAD, we have 2D, 3D, and advanced course, as well as drilling down into those specialties like architecture or mechanical. Once again, you have unlimited access to these courses. So if you're having to go through classes for your employer, but you are interested in learning Showcase or Maya, you can get into here on the weekend and come explore these things. So as you'll go here, these are in alphabetical order. The course that I'll be looking at today is this Revit architecture class. Now, when you jump in here, this is set up in sort of a logical, sequential order, how you would go through it, really, if you were taking a class with us in an in-person classroom. So the first thing we do is really introduce you to the interface, let you walk through those tours, start a project. You'll see here, I've been through this class many times before. It'll give you little designations to know where you left off. Certainly, if you're learning the software brand new, you're going to want to start at the top and go your way down. But if suddenly a question comes up about controlling the display of elements, you can jump in and out of those topics in any order. The little play circle means that you've never been in that section before. Play pause means that maybe you started it but didn't finish it. And that check mark means that you've already been through there. Once again, you do have unlimited attempts, so just because you finished it doesn't mean you can't go back through and get a refresher. So when you jump into these courses, there are a few ways that you can navigate around. If you could hear on my volume there, anything that is written in text is also audio narrated. If you don't want to listen, you can always hit that little mute button, and then obviously if your system is muted, it won't play anything through there. But we understand some people would prefer to listen rather than read, so we do give you that option. There's a side menu here where you can drill down even further if you're looking to only get information on a specific topic. Otherwise, you can just use that arrow button to move forward. There are a lot of interactive elements to these courses. Any of these green bolded words or this block right here means that there's an image associated with that. So it could be something as simple as where is this located on the ribbon? What does it look like in the software. We have tips, which are exactly as they sound, little tips and tricks in here. Some of these, letting you know the shortcut key or where to get that on the ribbon. And as you go through here, the topics and the content keep getting more advanced. We have learn more, which are really tips within a tip, so you can get more advanced content. That does have that little audio button there. So once again, if you prefer to listen rather than read, you have that option. And then within here, we have demonstration videos scattered throughout. As opposed to having one 30-minute video where you're scrambling, trying to find the 1 minute of relevant information you need, we have these throughout all of the slides. As you can see here, it does have that volume control as well as closed captioning. So if you're not in a place where you can listen or you don't want to, you can have that pulled up. And we do have the cursor highlighted so that you can easily follow along with the instructor. As you may notice, most things in here do pop up in their own window. So if you want to keep that open later, you can. Make sure you do have your pop-up blocker disabled, but you could keep that demo video open and keep going through the courses. And that might be nice to have on hand as you get towards the end of a lesson, and where it makes sense, they can be scattered throughout. We have let me try exercises. So these are great for a couple reasons. One, we do provide you with a data set so that you have a safe environment to practice in. So if you're back on your homepage here with the course, there are a couple ways to get to that data set. It's usually hiding right up here in the top where you can do imperial or metric. And we also have the data set in this resources box. So you can download those right from there. So again, you can use that to practice this exercise, make sure that you retained all the information that you went through in sort of that slideshow. But another great thing about this, if you are a step-by-step learner like I am, this is essentially just laying out all the picks and clicks necessary to complete an action. So this can be great to have on hand. This is a PDF version, so if your heart desires, you can print it out, stick it to your board, or just have it open in a window just to make sure as you are going through a project that you're completing those steps in the right order. Now, if you have gone through this and you still have questions, you feel like maybe you didn't get all the information that you needed, in the bottom left-hand corner of all the courses, there is a question mark, and that routes to our global eTraining help desk support page. So you can always look through the frequently asked questions, but most of the time you're probably going to want to submit a ticket. So this help desk is staffed by certified Autodesk instructors. So you would just fill out your information here. If you have a conceptual question, you can type that out. But we do have the ability to add screenshots or screen recordings. So maybe if you went through an exercise and your final result didn't come out looking just like theirs, instead of having to explain everything you did, you could always add that screenshot and submit it to our help desk support page. And that will be stored in your tickets. So if you ever have to go back and look at that response, or if you want to check your email, that will be sent to you along with being sent into your My Tickets folder. So there are a few different ways that you can always go back and reference that answer at a later time. So something else that I want to show you here in the resources box is that we do have a Let Me Try Exercise playlist. So you can open that up, and if you know that you're going to be working on a project, or if you need some extra help on using massing tools, you can open up that specific exercise so that if you don't want to have to go through the slides, you can do that. So that playlist is very popular for busy in the middle of a project, need to jump in and out of the information. And the same with the eDemo playlist. Now this one will take a little while to load, and it doesn't always load when I'm running GoToWebinar. But what this is doing is it's pulling out every single demonstration video that is scattered throughout those course and putting it, as I said, in that playlist format for you. So if you do prefer videos, you don't want to read the text, you just need to go through sort of a playlist slideshow. These are broken down just like in the course to a section and a subtopic. So you can make sure you're watching the video that's going to be most relevant to you at that time. So again, these are little shortcuts you can use in the resources folder, and I do have that pointed out for you on that user guide PDF that I had attached. So another thing that is nice, if you are sort of in a rush and you want to jump into information quick, on the home page we do have an advanced search function. So if you have a question about column walls in Revit, it looks like I've asked this question before, you can search for that. It'll bring up, this one's looking at 198 results. You can see that it's pulling up AutoCAD and Revit sources. You can see exactly what section and topic that's in to narrow down. Obviously, the more you type, the more it's going to narrow down those results. And you can actually filter these out by media type. So if you know that you like those demonstration videos, you can quickly open that up and jump right into a video, so you can jump right back in to your project, as well as those let me try exercises. So if you want to get that PDF breakdown of what it is you need to do, you can jump right in there. So there are lots of full-length, intricate ways to go through all the training, but then you also have those shortcuts like the playlist and the advanced search. Now, the other way to get to information quickly is through the global eTraining plugin that goes into the Autodesk software. We do have that available for AutoCAD, Revit, Civil 3D, Navisworks, Plan 3D, and Inventor. So it works like any other add-in really within the software. You can drag it around to a second monitor or dock it on the side of the screen. When you jump in, you would just activate it from that add-ins tab like any other application. You can expand this. So this is going to look very similar to the outline that you would see on the web version. So if you're wanting to get information about editing tools, you can see exactly what all the topics are in there. And you could open up a video. You would use the same login information that you use from the home portal to get into that plugin. And then it'll just open in its own window. And it's nice because you don't have to distract yourself by going out to a Chrome browser or anything to look at the courses. Now, one of the best and certainly my favorite part of this plugin is if you are really new to the software or not sure if you need full-length training, anything that you click on, so I'll go to the column tool here, the add-in will automatically react and bring up column training. So if I'm working through a project and I realize, yes, I do have some questions about creating structural columns, you can open up that video and have that there. This does work for any of the editing buttons as well. It does work for keyboard commands. So it's really nice to have in your back pocket if you're not sure you need help or if you're not even sure what you're doing. If you start clicking around, this add-in will let you know and deliver that training you need, whether it be a quick demo video or if you want to jump through the full course slides to get the content. And once again, that question mark will show up in the course slides, and we have it here. It's the support person that you see in the add-in to get to that Autodesk certified help desk. So those are the main useful tools I really think you need to know in order to get the most use out of the CAD Community portal. Once again, if you are wanting to use that eTraining plugin, that is in our CAD applications under Global eTraining plugin for CAD Community. So you can get that downloaded here. Once again, if you go sort of the full route, you can go to My Courses, CAD Microsystems, Libraries, Applications. There is no one way and there's no right way to get to any information in here. We really want to make it adaptable so it's most comfortable for how you learn. So any questions that you have, I'm going to let you ask them now. Once again, we do have that PDF user guide that you can keep on hand that'll reinforce a lot of these items. And then I will put my contact information up here. If you do have any other questions, obviously I am here to help. I want to make sure that you're comfortable using this portal and not just jumping in and hoping you'll figure it out. Please reach out to me if you or any of your colleagues need any assistance getting to the courses and resources that you need.